6 days under the rubble, a 2-year-old boy pulled out alive while rescuers applauded around him. The odds said no. A Jordanian rescue team said otherwise. Nearly 2,000 dead, 43,000 missing, almost 60,000 buildings destroyed. Venezuela is still searching, but today, for one small child, the rubble gave something back. Against overwhelming odds, rescuers in Venezuela have pulled a toddler alive from the rubble 6 days after twin earthquakes devastated the country's northern coast, offering a rare moment of hope as the humanitarian crisis continues to deepen. According to Reuters, the child, identified as Klieber Morán, was rescued on June 30th from the collapsed Los Corrales Garden 1 residential building in La Guaira by a Jordanian search and rescue team. Venezuela's acting president Delcy Rodriguez announced the rescue on Telegram, describing the child as 3 years old, while National Assembly President Jorge Rodriguez identified him as 2 years old.
We must hold on to the hope of continuing to find people alive beneath the rubble. Early this morning, a 2-year-old boy was rescued and is currently receiving care at a health center in Caracas.
The boy was taken to a hospital in Caracas, where officials said he was receiving medical treatment. Video released by authorities showed rescuers applauding as the child was lifted from the debris, well beyond the first 72-hour survival window, which disaster experts consider the period with the highest chance of finding survivors alive. The earthquakes, measuring magnitudes 7.2 and 7.5 and striking less than a minute apart on June 24th, flattened apartment blocks and trapped thousands beneath the rubble. According to the Venezuelan government, at least 1,943 people have been killed, more than 10,500 injured, around 16,000 left homeless, while 43,000 people remain missing. Authorities say over 6,400 people have been rescued so far. A preliminary NASA satellite assessment, based on European Space Agency Sentinel-1 radar imagery, analyzed by researchers at Oregon State University, estimates that approximately 58,870 buildings were likely damaged or destroyed, far exceeding official structural damage estimates. The United Nations says the disaster's humanitarian impact continues to grow. A 47-metric-ton UNICEF aid shipment arrived in Venezuela on Tuesday, carrying emergency health kits, newborn care supplies, medicines and disease prevention equipment for children and families affected by the disaster. UNICEF estimates 680,000 children now require humanitarian assistance nationwide. Meanwhile, the UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, warned that food shortages, collapsing basic services, and disrupted communications are worsening conditions in La Guaira, where community tensions are rising as aid struggles to reach survivors. The World Health Organization also warned that overcrowded shelters and low vaccination coverage could increase the risk of outbreaks of diseases such as measles and diphtheria. Rescue operations continue across the disaster zone, although hopes of finding more survivors are fading. On June 30th, rescue teams from Ecuador and the United States ended efforts at one collapsed building in Macuto after losing contact with a mother and her 3 children trapped beneath the debris following more than 40 hours of rescue attempts. As emergency crews continue searching through thousands of collapsed structures, aid agencies warn that the challenge is no longer only finding survivors, but preventing an even larger humanitarian catastrophe in the weeks ahead.
En este momento en el país hay 50 equipos internacionales registrados.
La relación con los caninos, con los binomios caninos de parte mía como médico veterinario es estar pendiente siempre de ellos, del bienestar animal, siempre estar al pendiente de su salud, que darle lo mejor de mí para que ellos en el área de operaciones o en la infraestructura den lo mejor al buscar esa esperanza, buscar esa vida que necesitamos encontrar.
En la noche es solo para el bienestar tanto de ustedes como de las mascotas y porque estratégicamente hay un poco más de silencio. No nos van a cerrar las calles como nos tocó hoy en pleno calor y con estos muchachos.
¿Todo el periodo operacional?
Toda la noche.
Toda la noche.
Toda la noche.
Vamos con un perro cada uno. ¿Listo? Seguridad, Altamira.
Pues dije, miren si de pronto nosotros estamos tratando de entrar por del frente. A ver si de pronto, como él tiene apilamiento atrás, de pronto allá se levanta, está al contrario. Le dieron toda la vuelta, maripino.
Ya sabemos que con el pasar de los días y entre más horas y más aumenta el tiempo, las probabilidades de supervivencia son menores. Quisiéramos quedarnos aquí todo el tiempo posible hasta el último momento y sacar hasta la última persona, pero es imposible.
De sentir frustración de no poder encontrar muchas más personas con vida y se sigue guardando la esperanza de poder hacerlo.
Estamos utilizando la noche ya que hay pocas personas ya en las calles, pocos vehículos, motos, está un poco más controlada la ciudad, por lo tanto, al tener más silencio es más efectivo poder escuchar los ruidos o las voces en el interior de las edificaciones.